Hi, I'm Rachel. Welcome to my channel. This week's pattern review is all about coats. Before I launch in, I would say even if you're a beginner, please don't be put off. I know coats can be quite complex because of their very nature, but I've got a range here. Some are advanced, yes, but there are some more straightforward ones, even easy actually. And there is actually one that you can make entirely by hand, and it's lovely. So keep watching to see that. I've got the trends first, then the main review. After the main pattern review, I've got some coats that I've made to show you, a couple of which you may have seen before, but I thought it would be good even to revisit them, and some of you may not have seen them. And then I'm going to have a catch up at the end, which I'd really like you to watch. I've got something to say and a few questions to ask you, and I'll also catch up with what's going on at the moment and what will be coming up, and there's a lot. So let's begin. As always, if you'd like to fast forward to the main pattern review, go to this point in the video, but I hope you continue watching and have a look at some of the trends I've picked out, because they sort of relate to some of the actual patterns I've chosen. So let's go. Okay, so I've got 6 slides. The first slide, I am looking at the classic double-breasted coat, quite masculine, fairly tailored. So this first one from Balenciaga, nearly floor length, very tailored. It's got really nice sharp shoulders, absolutely beautiful, and all the sort of design features you would expect on quite a masculine garment like that. The one in the middle is from the Frankie shop, and it has all the same elements, but it's a much more relaxed fit, although still tailored. So the Balenciaga, those shoulders are really quite fierce and sharp, whereas the Frankie shop garment, it's a bit more relaxed, and I'd say it's a slightly looser fit. So the same kind of style in two slightly different ways. And then this third garment, which I love, from Dries Van Noten, it's like a double-breasted midi-length peacoat. I think it's a really nice easy shape, and it crosses over from formal to casual, so quite a useful piece. Okay, moving on to, I'm looking at my screen like I always do, so I'm kind of trying to look at you and I can't. Sorry. Okay, belted. Lots of belted styles around. So this first one from Sport Max, which is a really nice easy shape. Sport Max and Max Mara, Sport Max's older sister. I mean, they are sort of the ultimate in coats, I always think. This is a beautiful style, drop shoulder, wrap over, kind of quite exaggerated lapels with nice patch pockets, really easy, but it's got a really nice, it looks like a leather thong belt, which is kind of doubled up and wrapped around and then knotted, which is beautiful. Similar idea from Anine Bing here, and this looks like a wool felt coat. It's got sort of nice rounded shoulders, it's collarless, it's quite clean looking, and it's got like it looks like a really sort of chunky jumbo sort of self rouleau loop belt, which is again lovely. And from Acne Studio, slightly different. You've got it's like a sort of wrap over double breasted pinstripe midi length coat, and then you've got a very sort of casual looking belt, but it's in a formal pinstripe, so sort of slight contradictions there, but a lovely shape, and something you could quite easily do with a simple coat pattern, by using a pinstripe fabric and having the stripes on the belt going the other way and just making it a feature. Okay, shawl collars, loads of shawl collars around. These first 2 styles from Tove, they look really similar, but they are actually 2 different garments. So I think the cream one is in quite a soft wool. It looks like a really cosy wrap with this very exaggerated shawl collar, and a simple tie belt. And then the second one, a very similar shape, but I think it's more of a sort of a felted wool, so it doesn't look quite as fluid, but still really nice. From Altuzara, can't pronounce it, you've got a shawl collared wrap coat, very similar again, but the collar actually goes into a hood. quite a lot of scarf coats. There are three styles here, and I actually think these scarves come, they're part of the coat, but they're not attached to the coat, so they kind of come with. So the first one is a double-faced fabric, I believe, from Gucci. So it's plain on one side, and I think it's, at least the belt is embossed with the Gucci logo on the reverse side, and actually the scarf, you can just catch a glimpse of it on the underside of the scarf, and it's wrapped around on the photo that's actually not on the model. A really easy silhouette and really sort of quite exaggerated, and a really beautiful colour. And then from Libero, this is actually a really simple button through coat, just with an oversized scarf with it. As I understand, it's not attached to it, and which is the same with this third stuff from Row. Big shawl collar, double breasted, quite an easy silhouette again, and this big sort of voluminous scarf to go with it, which is something you could do really easily if you make a style similar to this, and you've got the additional fabric, and you could make a scarf to go with. So you could do that look. Military equestrian styles. This is part inspired. If you watched my Your Makes video a couple of weeks ago, Beth made an amazing purple coat from, it was the Pauline Alice Almirall coat. It was in purple, it was stunning. And she did actually mention to me that she'd really like to see a pattern review on coats, so this is kind of it. So there you go. Beth made this beautiful Almirall coat, and it's very military, so it's kind of inspired me to look at military coats. So I would say these are more military stroke equestrian. This first one from Gabriella Hearst, oh, how beautiful. Double-breasted front, princess seams going into what could look like pockets, with a nice slim 2 or possibly 3-piece sleeve with button detail at the cuff, and then the back detail is just lovely with the seaming above the waist, the band at the waistline, and this pleat detail at the back, and then it's got, it looks like the centre back will open, and it's got button fastening down it, which is not dissimilar to the Almirall coat that Beth made. In the middle here we have kind of a slightly military look from Libero. I think this is a grey wool coat with a velvet trim, collar stand, pocket tabs, and the buttons down the front. And then this third one, which to me looks very equestrian. You know, this kind of Victorian this is probably not the right name for it. It's like an overcoat that a Victorian lady might wear to go horse riding. And it's got an asymmetrical fastening and an asymmetrical hem, and I just love this. It's absolutely divine from Courageous. Absolutely beautiful. And then finally, for our inspiration and trends, I have looked at embellishment. So I've just chosen 3. So firstly, you've got this style from Dries van Noten, and it's whip stitched. I think it's really, really interesting. I think this is from the first collection because Dries van Noten has actually retired, and they've got a new designers there, and it's from the first collection. I think this is really interesting, and it is something you could quite possibly do on an existing style. You could do that whip stitch detail. It could be tonal, it could match, or it could be like quite an extreme contrast like this, but I thought that was really interesting. From Simkay, we have this beautiful double-breasted grey coat, and it's embellished, and I think it is a mixture of beading and embroidery, and they're kind of placed equidistant all over. Really lovely. It would make a really nice evening coat, wouldn't it, if you were going out for dinner or cocktails or somewhere special. And then this is a really interesting one. This is the final one. Thank you, have a good day. Now, I've got to read this out from the listing description so I get this right. So, this is made of wool and jacquard fabric, but thank you, have a good day are interesting because each garment is handmade and therefore is unique and has its own individual characteristics. All pieces are handmade in studio from a mix of end-of-roll, dead stock sample and vintage stroke antique textiles. So It's a very unique, almost one-off approach to making. Very, very interesting. But that is something that you could actually do yourself. So that was just a starting point for you, those 6 infographics. So let's have a look at the patterns that I've chosen. Okay, I've chosen 12 coats, and I've tried to choose a mix of abilities and complexity, but a lot of them are advanced by their very nature. So let's begin. So, double-breasted, long-tailored coat from Nomi. Nomi ME2103 by Butte J'adore. Paper or PDF pattern in 2 size sets, 8 to 16 or 18 to 26. So, classic double-breasted coat. They have 2 length options, although obviously you could that's something you could decide on for yourself. It could almost be jacket length actually, but you've got like long and a sort of short midi, I would say there. Front button opening, it has shoulder pads, collar, lapel, front pockets and flaps. It's got a welt breast pocket on left side as worn, I think. Centre back vent, and it is fully lined. So if you're after the look of that Balenciaga coat that I showed you at the very beginning, that is almost it, with that the very sort of tailored look with the sharp shoulders and the princess seaming to give it, and a centre back seam as well to give it the body shape. So that's Nomi ME2103. Another double-breasted coat. Again, this is from Nomi, but this is a more relaxed silhouette, so it has a lot of the same elements again, and this is the ME2139. That previous pattern, by the way, is described as average ability, and this is described as average ability as well. So I would think it's if for somebody who's got a reasonable amount of sewing experience. The same with this one, the ME2139. Again, paper or PDF, 8 to 16 or 18 to 26. So I chose this one because it's a classic double-breasted coat again, but it's a slightly easier fit. It's not as fitted, it's not quite as cinched in at the waist, but what I really like about it is you've got this detachable hoodie detail as well that you can make that sits with it. So it's basically, the pattern is for the coat and the hoodie insert. So it's double-breasted, it's got your notch collar, front buttons, it's got shoulder pads, side seam pockets, which are probably a bit more straightforward than the pockets on the other one, and those welt pockets you see at the front are fake, so they're not actually functioning pockets, but they're still a nice detail, and it is lined as well. So that was from Nomi, the ME2139. Okay, now moving on to the coat I was talking about earlier that kind of inspired me to do a coat review. I've got the photo here of Beth wearing her lovely purple version of this coat, and then here's the infographic. So this is a PDF pattern from Pauline Alice, the Almirall coat, and it is advanced, which comes as no surprise because there's quite a lot going on. It's inspired by a military greatcoat, and surprisingly, it is double-breasted with a lapel collar, a long sleeve with cuffs. That's at least a 2-piece sleeve, I think. I can see from the line drawing. Button centre back vent as well, which is a really, really nice detail. And it's got that half back belt detail. Patch. So you've got 2 pocket versions. So the working drawing kind of in the middle of the infographic has patch pockets with a flap, or you can do welt pockets with a flap, and it is of course fully lined, and it's got that nice back belt detail, and I really love the seaming detail on the front as well, and you've got the button details. It really is a beautiful coat, as you can see Beth's version here, suitable for medium and medium to heavyweight coating fabrics. Okay, let's move on to, this is from Vogue Patterns, and I think this is a fairly new one because I subscribe on So Direct, and when new patterns come out, you get an option to buy them early. So I think it's new, and it's absolutely lovely, and it reminds me a bit of the Gabriella Hurst yellow riding coat look that we saw in the inspiration. So this is from Vogue, V2125, paper or PDF, 2 size sets, 4 to 12 or 12 to 20. And it's described as easy, which I was quite surprised. I would have thought that would be more intermediate. However, I suppose it's not too tricky. I don't know. What do you think? Has anybody made it? Although it's brand new, so I'm not sure that anybody will have. But anyway, it's a lovely style. So it's got a revere collar. It's double breasted with button fastenings and the high-low hem, which is lovely. Although you could just do a regular hem if you didn't want to do the high-low thing. The back pleat detail is particularly nice with it looks like an inverted pleat at centre back and then pleats going out from it towards the side. Princess seams, side pockets as well. It's almost like a coat dress coat, isn't it? Coat dress coat, I think. It's really beautiful, actually. A lovely one there from Vogue Patterns. Okay. Right, this one's from Grasser, the Grasser 866, and obviously I was talking about shawl collar coats in the trends inspiration bit, so I thought this was a particularly good one. PDF sizes 38 to 56 from Grasser. So calf length, it's got a shawl collar, it's got a raglan sleeve, it's got a tie belt, patch pockets, and you've got this nice sleeve detail. It's kind of like a cuff strap. Beautiful, and a centre back vent, centre back seam detail, and I like the stitching detail which follows around the whole garment. You've got the collar, centre front pockets, also on the tie belt and the cuff detail as well. It's a particularly lovely one from Grasser. Vicky Sews. I think this is a bit of a classic shape, a little bit Max Mara. So it's the Martina coat from Vicky Sews. It's PDF sizes 34 to 52. And as you probably know, if you make their patterns, they come in 4 heights. This is advanced. It's slightly oversized, double-breasted, notch collar with a separate stand. It's got a drop collar with a 2-piece sleeve, top stitch welt pockets, a centre back seam vent, and a belt with belt loops. But a classic, a real classic there. Okay, the Maker's Atelier. This you'll be interested to know is an easy coat. It's first of all, it's paper PDF sizes 8 to 22, so it's quite fluid, it's unlined, and it's designed to have a raw edge. So if you make it in boiled wool or something that doesn't fray, it's really straightforward. So it's unlined as well. So and it has a snap fastening, so no tricky buttonholes either. But it can be lined, and Maker's Atelier do this thing where you can make other variations, and I've actually included on the infographic. You could do a colour block one, you can see on the far right, and you can also do a dressing gown version, but obviously that would have to be lined and faced as well. So it can be very easy or slightly more complex, but just a really nice easy shape with this just quite a narrow shawl collar, nice soft drop shoulders and patch pockets. So that's an easy one if you're a relatively new sewer. I mean, I would make that in a sort of reasonably lightweight boiled wool, and I think it would be a great one for somebody who's more of a novice. I think it would be a good one to start with. Okay. This next one, a coat with a scarf, or a scarf coat, and I think the scarf is actually attached. Simplicity S3034, paper or PDF 6 to 14 or 16 to 24, and this is for average ability. So it's loose fit, it's lined, the scarf is attached, it's got drop drop shoulder, front darts, front button fastening, patch pockets with top stitching with a stitched hem, and you can make it in 2 lengths. On the front of the pattern, you can see there on the infographic, there's a short version, but I particularly like the long version. I think that does a good job of one of the scarf coats that we were looking at in the trends, I think. I think this is a new one on the Sew Direct website from Vogue, and I chose it just really because of the sleeves, to be honest with you. It's the V2137, again paper PDF, sizes 8 to 16 or 18 to 26, so it's a double-breasted coat with a collar and barrel sleeves with a pleat in them, and it has a back vent and a belt with loops, but for me, it's all about the sleeves. I just think the sleeves are fantastic. I just think it's a really, really great silhouette. And it's got that super long belt with a classic buckle tie. Although if you don't want to go to the lengths of making a belt with a proper formal buckle and all the holes that you need, you could just make a soft tie belt with it if you chose. So that last Vogue pattern was advanced. I forgot to mention that, sorry. Anyway, let's move on to a fibre mood pattern, and this is the lovely dealer coat. It's a PDF extra small to extra large, which is approximately size 6 to size 28/30. It's a fully lined coat. It's got this nice stand collar, raglan sleeve with sleeve tabs, side pockets. Well, they're not actually side pockets. They're in the princess seam. So you've got inseam pockets rather. A centre back split, 2 visible buttons and 2 inside snaps, and I think there's a button detail on the sleeve as well, which is lovely. And I know it doesn't exactly fit into any of the trends that we looked at, but I just thought it was a particularly nice silhouette. Very nice coat. Okay, Puff and Pencil. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but I did a video about the utility jacket a few weeks ago, and this is like a coat version of that, the sort of jacket we were talking about in that video. So this is why I've really included it, and it's also easy. It's actually the Puff and Pencil Lunar Vest with box sleeves. And if you know Puff and Pencil patterns, you'll know that quite often you'll get a vest and then you can buy the sleeves to go with it, or you can buy different collars and cuffs. They kind of almost treat design details like components. It's quite interesting. And I have to say their instructions are really, really clear. So this style is unlined. It has a collar, it has cuffs, snap fastenings, side pockets, and it's in 2 lengths basically. And I like the way that they've treated it here. So you've got the contrast collar and cuff, either in a corduroy, I would think, or a short pile velvet like a cotton velveteen, and that looks like a kind of like a wax cotton Barber type outdoorsy sort of fabric, so it's got that utility look to it. So a really nice one from Puff and Pencil. Moving on to last but no means least, I mentioned at the beginning that I had a pattern here and you could make the coat by hand, and this is it from Juliana Martijev's, the Kelly coat, and it's really beautiful. It's a wrap coat with a shawl collar and belt and pockets essentially, and it's been, well, she says it's actually inspired by the Toteem scarf coat, which, I mean, it's been everywhere and it's been copied to death. It's a wool coat with a scarf, a wrap scarf detail with the blanket stitching on essentially. What is really nice is that they've also got a matching scarf, which is a free pattern that you can make to sort of go with it. But anyway, I digress. It's a paper or PDF pattern, sizes extra small to extra large, and they actually will do a custom size pattern for you. So have a look at their website and you can investigate that if you're interested in it. And it can be sewn entirely by hand without a sewing machine with blanket stitch, which is amazing. And so that's the main coat, but also there's a free pattern So that's the Kelly coat. There's a free pattern called the Poly Scarf, and it's ideally for a fabric that doesn't fray, so boiled wool, perfect. And it's blanket stitched around the edge, and then they've just got this lovely sort of fringing detail at either end, which is fab. I feel really inspired to make one, actually. I think I've probably got some grey boiled wool from when I made this coat last year, so I just need to find some yarn to do the fringing and the blanket stitching, but it's lovely, and it would also make a really nice gift, actually, a really nice handmade gift for somebody. Gorgeous. So those are my 12, well actually 13 patterns if you include the scarf, and I hope you like them, and I thought there was something there for you. I have got some coats that I've made in the last year or so, and we're going to have a look at them now. So I'm going to start by talking about this boiled wool coat that I actually made last year, and it's a very easy Vogue pattern, V8930, there it is. I made it in this kind of medium weight boiled wool, and it's a great pattern if you're a novice. I've actually got a video about this, and I talked about it because I had to, it was a bit overwhelming. The collar was a bit too much on me. I'm 5'5", and I probably cut about that much off at the widest point here. It was just too overwhelming, but that's okay. More often than not, a pattern won't be perfect for you, so you can do that. And it's got nice patch pockets. It was very, very quick and easy to make. So that's a boiled wool coat from Vogue Patterns. Great for beginners. Okay, I've got another boiled wool coat here to show you. And it's the Berlin coat from Tessuti. And it's a nice coat, but this is an illustration of a bad choice of fabric. It's boiled wool. It's not the fact that it's boiled wool, but I think it was not a very good quality one, and there's probably quite a high amount of polyester in it, and it has pilled like there's no tomorrow. I've held on to it because I put leather pockets on it, and I plan to get a better quality boiled wool, a bit like this one. I think I got this boiled wool from M. Rosenberg's at the Knit and Stitch the Stitch Festival even, last year or the year before, and it's a really, really good quality. This not so much, and it's, I don't know if you can see, it's pilled dreadfully. So the plan is to get a better quality black boiled wool, and I'll unstitch the leather pockets and reattach them because it's a really nice easy shape. So this is the Berlin coat or jacket from Tessuti Fabrics. Okay, so then if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I love this next coat pattern. I absolutely love it. It is the Trend Patterns drop shoulder coat. Okay, so in the early days of my channel, about 18 months, 2 years ago, I think this was probably one of the first garments I showed you, and I still love this coat, although unfortunately, again, the fabric has pilled a little bit, and it's a heavyweight blend. Oh, there's a nice end there. It's a heavyweight blend, jersey blend, and it's really fluid, and it's a lovely coat, but it's just pilled slightly, and I feel very conscious when I wear it, although I love it so much that I still wear it. So this was my first version of the Trend Patterns drop shoulder coat, and it's got a nice brown lining in it, and the fabric was, you guessed it, from Walthamstow Market. Okay, and then I think the second version I made is here. I just wanted to show you these because it's the same pattern, but they look quite different. This is it's unlined. The last one was lined. This is unlined, and it's a quilted double-faced fabric that I bought again from Walthamstow Market, and I've just fastened it with jumbo poppers, and this is great in the winter. It's really, really cosy, and I do actually wear this a lot. So same pattern, but quite a different look. And then finally, again, on the stand, and you probably have seen this before, it's a jacket version. It's lined in black 100% cotton, and it's made in fabric from dead stock fabric from Rainbow Fabrics. Again, I bought it at the Stitch Festival, and it's a 100% cotton drill in my in animal skin print. You've got the pockets, drop shoulder, lovely. So one pattern 3 ways. And incidentally, I thought that that would be quite a good idea for a video, 1 pattern 3 ways. I don't know if you'd be interested in that. So that's something that that I'm thinking about as well. Anyway, those are just my coats that I've made over the last year. So I just wanted to catch up with you at the very end. I won't go on for too long, I promise. Firstly, thank you so much for the lovely positive comments that I had from last week's video, which was about my journey to YouTube and what I did before. And I have to confess, I was rather nervous about doing that video because I felt I really left myself open, because it really, well, it wasn't my life story exactly, but it was a lot of information about me, and I wasn't sure about it, but it was really positively received, and it was lovely to get your comments. Thank you so much. And I am working through replying to all your comments and messages, so bear with me. If you haven't heard from me yet, you will in the near future. Okay, secondly, I'm visiting Paris next week and I cannot wait. Just 2 days, 1 night, me and my husband are going. I really want to visit some fabric shops, and I just wanted to go to Paris because I haven't been for 4 years. I've got a list of places I'm visiting, but if any of you out there have specific places that you go to that you absolutely love, could you tell me in the comments? It would be really helpful. I don't want to miss anything good. I haven't got lots of time. Probably going to spend just over half a day doing 2 areas. But if there's anywhere that you can recommend, I'd be really grateful. Thanks in advance for that. In other news, we've got the Knit and Stitch Show at Alexandra Palace in London this week. I'm going on Thursday and Friday. Really, really looking forward to it. I'm going with my friend Jenny on Thursday, and then my sister and my cousin on Friday. So I'm going for 2 days. Maybe I'll see you there. I hope so. And then in other news, what am I doing? I'm still working on my Chanel style jacket. That's going okay. And incidentally, yesterday, the new designer Matthew Blazey's collection came out for Chanel, and I managed to have a look at it this morning when I got up, and it looks great. I mean, I think it's a breath of fresh air for the House of Chanel. I don't know, have you seen the collection? What do you think? Maybe take a look, quite interesting. And I am working on my Marie Antoinette vlog, and I've been doing a lot of historical research because I'm not a historian and there's quite a lot of information to consume. So I've listened to a couple of podcasts, and I've just started reading Antonia Fraser's Marie Antoinette, The Journey, which is actually was used to base, they used this as the basis of the Sofia Coppola's film, Marie Antoinette, which is about 20 years old now. So I'm working my way through that, which is going to be a while. So you're going to be waiting a little while for the vlog, but I need to do a bit more research so I can really do it justice, because it's a great exhibition at the V&A. And that's it for this week, and I will be back next week with another pattern review, and I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.